You know who's been annoying the absolute fuck out of me right now? Men. I happened to post something about my shit stain of a baby daddy. And excuse my profanity, but it's necessary. And in comes a low energy Dusty. And you know what the Dusty says? If you've been around enough Dusties, you know exactly what this Dusty said. He said, "You chose him. Why, thank you, Captain Obvious." I've noticed that men online are a team of pointer-outers, but what they can't seem to do is point at each other. I'm a beautiful woman. There are plenty of other beautiful women, with or without makeup, skinny or fat, who get hundreds of thousands of requests from men to date. If you are a woman, you have been targeted by hundreds of men, right? So imagine being someone like me, who has been popular since the early 2000s. Imagine how many men have tried to get at me. Let me just tell you, hundreds of thousands, not just online, but me just walking down the street minding my business. When you got hundreds of thousands of people trying to get at you, some have a motive and some do not. It is so easy for you to make a poor choice in somebody to be in a relationship with, friends with, work with. You become the target of a whole bunch of fuck shit. I made a lot of poor choices in men because I didn't necessarily have a blueprint. I didn't have my father there to tell me this is what type of man I should date. Here's the type of man who's lying to you, pretending that he's something that he's not. I didn't have that. So I had to figure this shit out on my own, trial and error. The problem was I did not choose faith-based men. I'm big on meditation and prayer. And I didn't look into these guys' lives and see whether they had a decent relationship with God until I got older. All of these complaints that men have about women, but they try to act like they've never made a poor choice in women before. If you've never made a poor choice in women before, then you wouldn't have any complaints, sir. So when a woman is online and she's talking about an experience she had with a man, please don't say something as obvious as, "You chose him, now you're turning around and you mad." Like you don't know your homies acting foolish, pretending they something that they ain't, pretending they a good man when they not. Stop trying to act like you ain't never seen that before. You know damn well that's what men be doing. Yes, there are some women out here purposely choosing the wrong guy, but 9 times out of 10, most of us have chose these men by mistake or were manipulated into choosing these men. No, I'm not just gonna go out there just looking for the shittiest guy I can to walk around with. Some of us did not have a blueprint, so we just chose certain men by mistake. If we never had a father or a blueprint or a man sit down and tell us, we had no idea. We just got to go out there and try it. I currently live in California. When I tell people that I lived in Atlanta for 17 years, the first thing that they ask me is it true that there are a lot of down low men in Atlanta? Sis, it's raining men. Hallelujah. Let's just say there's a lot of rainbow glow there. YMCA. I'm bisexual. I was polyamorous for a long time. Would I look like misjudging somebody that is homosexual? But what I can say is I do not have respect for men who hide it. Men who use their wives and girlfriends as beards. I don't like that. That's ugly. And it's a lot of that in Atlanta. I'm sorry, but love is not you continuously having to remind someone of your value over and over again by giving them ultimatums or consistently having to reinforce boundaries and standards, repeating your damn self like a broken ass record, testing them, checking their phone, smelling their underwear. The f is you doing? Making excuses about why they spreading rumors about you, gossiping and talking about you all the time, trying so hard to get their family or friends to accept you. That is not a healthy situation at all. That is not happiness, and that is not fair. Don't let other people in their toxic situations make you believe that you experiencing that is what makes your relationship real. Intention and ambition is not impressive to those who applaud action and results. My thing is, be who you say you gonna be. Don't talk about it, just go out there and get it done. That's me. Execute it. Okay? That impresses me. All that talking that a lot of people be doing, I don't even want to hear all that. Power and control is not a masculine trait. Being strong is also feminine. See, I'm fragile like a flower, but I'm delicate like a bomb. I can handle it all by myself should not be the standard for single mothers. It shouldn't be. I'm a single mom, of course, and I take pride in being able to do everything that I do alone, but at the same time, it's a dual reality because I feel like I shouldn't have to do this alone. But I made the choice to have my son. My son's father wanted him to be put up for adoption, and I was like, you want me to put another black man into the system because your ass can't get your head together and want to screw around with a whole bunch of women instead of being the father and husband that you promised me you would be? Boy, bye! Oh, I totally got this, so you ain't got to worry then. Why would I want to harm another black man, let alone my own black child? You black men are weird. What is you see each other hurting each other and other people hurting you, and then you turn around and hurt some more. Like, saw this girl on Instagram. She was like, I love being a girlfriend. All I've ever dated was kings. I was like, girl, I remember when I used to be like that. I remember those days I used to love wanting to be a girlfriend. She said something along the lines that women don't want to be in a relationship or have bad experiences with men, just don't have options. I was like, what? I could be a Target, charging my Tesla, minding my whole business, and here comes an option. I'm starting to believe that a lot of women are single upon preference. You know what I mean? Like, it's because we're seeing our options, and yes, some of them are kings and some of them are peasants, but honestly, it's like, do I really want to risk my autonomy? Do I? I kind of like not being imprisoned. It feels kind of great here. I've been celibate for such a long time. I'm used to it by now. I'm used to being by myself. And a lot of people will be like, how could you go that long without sex? One guy came into my YouTube comments and was like, wait a minute, didn't you date a dude just recently who was a PCP addict? I was like, dude. Disclaimer, I didn't know he was on PCP. I didn't find that out until after we started talking about marriage. Like, his friends was like, don't do it, sis. Like, every friend he had, ma'am, I'm gonna need for you to not do that. I was like, why is everybody telling me that? They didn't want to tell me. They didn't want to tell me what was really going on with him. I ended up finding out. Between all of the male platonic friends I've had and the heartbreaks that I've had and even the good relationships I've been in, come to the conclusion that single is good for me. My male platonic friends told me how men function. Yeah. And honestly, if you've been looking at all these podcasts and TikTok videos, you shouldn't want to be in a relationship either.